the office again today because I have an in-person meeting with a consultant, and I'm excited to go in there. I'm excited to go like meet this person in person because I've only ever met him over Zoom. But I was just thinking how I tell you guys, like, you just show up, you just do the thing. Even if you're uncomfortable, you just do it. But then I realized that, like, sometimes I don't really walk you through in the moment how I'm actually feeling in the moment.
Gotta stand up straight. Gonna rise like a champion.
Where did all the times go? When did they all pass by? How did I get so lost in a blink of an eye? Gone. You were just here by my side. Everything was nice now. I take it, it's all over now. Damn, I gotta move on, away from my comfort zone. Yeah, I gotta stay strong, even if my wounds open and show. Yeah, I gotta live on for the present. Know that everything will be okay, just fine. Everything will be alright, right? No, I can't take this pill, not any longer. Yeah, I'm just acting tough. I'm nowhere strong enough. When I see a smile, that's just so
It's me, I'm driving. I'm actually in my husband's car today, so it's a little different setup than usual. But I wanted to talk to you because I'm headed into my work office for the second time this week. And I think I might have shared with you guys in one of my videos, or it's coming soon, I don't know the order and the sequence that they're coming in, but that I was going into the office for the first time to actually, like, I've been with my team before, but this was the first time I was going to be during a quarterly kind of like meeting with them. So I'm headed into the office again today because I have an in-person meeting with a consultant, and I'm excited to go in there. I'm excited to go like meet this person in person because I've only ever met him over Zoom. But I was just thinking how I tell you guys, like, you just show up, you just do the thing. Even if you're uncomfortable, you just do it. But then I realized that, like, sometimes I don't really walk you through in the moment how I'm actually feeling in the moment. So I am headed to the office, and I figured now would be a good time as I'm on my way to tell you what I'm actually feeling and how it went for me getting ready and what today was like as I prepared for this in-office meeting. So I will start with, today was a regular day just like any other day. I knew that I needed to time things appropriately because I was going to be going into the office, but not really like any crazy anxiety about like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see a person in person. I don't really get a lot of that, truly. I do still wonder about my wardrobe. So I know that because I can flush at any time, whether I'm nervous, whether I'm having a good time, whether the conference room is hot, there's a change in temperature, that I can start to flush. Even during our quarterly meeting that we had on Tuesday, I realized that there were moments where I felt myself get hot, and it's usually when I feel like just all that attention's on me. It doesn't stop me from being able to think or say what I need to say, but I do feel that, bit of discomfort around all eyes on me. That's just a natural response in my body, even though I'm totally okay here. And I just want to apologize for the audio. I know that it's so loud and they're doing road work, and it just does not do great for audio. So sorry about that. So hopefully you can still hear what I'm trying to say, because we're going to go through a bit of a rough patch here. Back to my story. So you see I pick a higher neck shirt, and I'll also show you what I wore the other day when I went into the office. It's going to be a higher neck shirt. I don't wear a lot of low cut anyway, so I think I've said that before, that those types of shirts just don't look flattering on my body style. The higher neck stuff just looks better, period, for my body style. But I just pick out a little bit of a higher neck shirt. I don't really care much about whether my hair is down or up or whatever the case may be. I know that wearing it down can help cover some of the sides, which is where I do flush mostly, is chest, neck, and like the sides of my neck. And it's interesting because I now actually get a facial flush too, so I fully get the blushing in the face, which when I started this channel I didn't. So even though I've gone through so much healing and my mind is so much more free than it was when I started this channel 4 years ago, I actually physically am blushing more than I was when I started the channel. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, the noise, so sorry. So anyway, I just kind of get my wardrobe options down. That makes me feel more comfortable knowing that I'm going to, I mean, that's with any like wardrobe, right? Like if you're having a bad hair day and you're going out somewhere, you don't feel your best. Same thing with wearing a particular wardrobe. Knowing that I have on flattering clothes and a shirt that comes up a little higher on my chest and neck, immediately I just feel so much better. So that's the only thing that kind of plays in the back of my mind is, what am I gonna wear? And I think that would be for anything. That would be whether I was going to meet somebody in person or I'm going to dinner with my husband. Obviously I'm not gonna think about it as much if I'm going to dinner with my husband, but I once I figure out what I'm gonna wear, I'm fine. So that's a little bit of the behind the scenes of like, I'm more about like time blindness from how I can forget, like I gotta get out of here, I gotta go, I'm gonna be rushing, because that can obviously make your nervous system a lot more taxed when you're already a little nervous about traffic and timing. And I am headed into like a downtown area, so you can't just like park in a parking lot and walk into the building. You usually are gonna park in a garage, and then you're gonna have to go a little bit of a distance to get to where you need to go. So you gotta set that buffer of time there. That's really how I go about getting ready and knowing that I'm going into an in-person meeting. Is it a little more uncomfortable? Well, yeah. I mean, and that's not even because I'm turning red from time to time. That's just period. I work a remote job. I would rather stay in my hoodie and my joggers. I have on jeans today for the first time in a long time. And but it feels good to put myself together and go out and know I'm gonna meet somebody new. And I know that that's really good psychologically for me, mentally, emotionally, all of that just makes me feel better as the ambivert that I am. I know that it's healthy. But as far as like, am I freaking out about flushing or getting into an environment where I may not be accepted? No. I was like that years ago. I was like that not too long ago, honestly. You guys remember if you've been around for a while. But I don't struggle with the erythrophobia. The erythrophobia is that fear of turning red. I don't fear turning red today. I know that most likely I will turn red, but I don't fear if and when it's going to happen. It's just more about being comfortable in the way that I'm showing up today. And so I'm showing up and I feel comfortable about that. And I feel excited about the opportunity. Instead of looking at this opportunity as something to be afraid of, I look at it as something to be excited about. So anyway, just wanted to give you a rundown of what is fresh on my mind as I am on my way to have an in-person meeting in my work environment. I think another thing also is that this person is a consultant. There is no like authoritative relationship between me and him. It is more of like a neutral feeling, if that makes sense. It's like a neutral relationship, if that makes sense. And I've talked before about a lot of times that mental, what is it? It's a mental, that mental stronghold is more around these authoritative relationships with a boss or people that are those high level positions, really trying to level out my nervous system and understanding that authority is not something that you have to be afraid of. But my nervous system just does not believe that right now, still does not believe that, and that's okay too. So I wanted to give you my rundown, share my feedback with you about what's happening in real time as I'm navigating headed into an in-person meeting, and let you know that I'm showing up. I was prepared for this. I feel prepared. I think I've talked to you all about that before. Like, being prepared for an in-person meeting is, to me, a lot of the battle as well, is just knowing that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm prepared for what's going to occur today, and host a good meeting is really important to me. So feeling great about that. But all right, my friends, wanted to give you all of that feedback, sharing that with you in real time, and hope that that's helpful for you.
Yeah. I'm just acting tough. I know it's strong enough. When I see you smile, that's just some torture. Every time I think about you, girl, the pain is optional. 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 You can tell every lie, every time time I laugh, you know what's going on. You can see through me like glass, but you don't need to ask, cause I'ma say nothing is wrong. Smile on my face, but dead in my core. We were in deep, now we're back at the shore. Stayed together without a doubt. We knew each other both inside and out. I wonder every day how it became like this. Not wishing in life there was a redo.
This is how I feel after that meeting. Not because the meeting didn't go well, but because I was left with so much to think about afterwards. So we just finished that meeting, and let me tell you, it started off with me talking to my CEO, who was actually up here, that I didn't know he was gonna be at the office. Anyway, he and I chatted, had a great chat. I really like when I get the opportunity to talk to him alone, because a lot of times we're just in like these meetings and he's busy and we've got to move on. But it was just nice to talk to him, but I could feel myself getting like super red, super splotchy. And I was like, you know what, it's fine, just keep going. Like, I think of it in my head, I feel it in my body. I know my body is having a response to danger, danger, get away. But I also just kept going. Then the person that I was supposed to have the meeting with, the consultant coach, came in. And for the first 20 minutes or so of just us talking, I could just feel how flushed I was. And I just kept going. I just kept going, putting my attention more on him than on myself. And I'm not saying that's easy, but the more I practice it, the easier it does get. And then after about probably 20 minutes or so, I felt my whole system just release. It just released. And then I wound up having the rest of like the hour to chat with him, and wasn't feeling anything, wasn't flushed, and it was, some of the moments we were having were very vulnerable, like just really talking very, very deeply about things, and I just did not flush. I felt so regulated, my system got so regulated and so safe with him that it just released. And I know that my system is so traumatized from those negative, authoritative relationships that even though there are good, authoritative people in my life now, my body just does not believe that. And it's gonna take time for my body to believe it, but I trust that in due time, it is going to believe it. It's gonna stop that response, because it just has to be told a new story. It has to believe a new story. And this is all new for me. It's new for me to be in a safe work environment with safe people. So I'm really excited. I'm excited that today, you know, I showed up, and I'm excited that my brain doesn't like go as crazy as it used to, and my body doesn't go as crazy as it used to, but it still does. And the fact that it does is okay, and I'm gentle with that. But I'm excited to know that I really think it's gonna heal by the environment. And I'll keep you posted on that.
So rise up, rise up, rise up. When you've had enough, when the crowd gets rough, gotta stand up straight.